Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock. It's a Monday. It's time for a 5x5. This is where I take 5 subjects related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each subject. I move on to the next subject. It's quick, it's snappy. You never know what you're going to get. And it's bank holiday here in the UK, and everybody's out enjoying the sun, or very probably the rain. This is England after all. I don't know. We're not there yet. But it's going to rain. It's going to rain. It will rain. But in celebration of bank holiday and the wonderful time that everybody is having here in the UK in the rain, we thought we'd do a special 5x5. So this is a 5x5 tutorial special. And basically, it's all on self-working magic. Now, anybody that's been watching Magic TV for more than 0.3 seconds will know that I love self-working card tricks. Now, there's some people out there that are giant snobs that do not like self-working card tricks because unless it's got a sleight in there, they don't deem it valuable enough to include in your repertoire. Nemid Phoenix, I'm looking at you, you sycophant. However, most people do like self-working card tricks, and because of that, I'm going to be showing you 5 of my favourite self-working card tricks. Now, these have been around since time began. These are timeless, but a lot of people have never seen them before. I showed one of them to my friend Wayne Goodman the other day, and he absolutely freaked out over it. So you're going to see a self-working way of doing a triumph routine. You're going to see a self-working way of doing a 4-of-a-kind production. You're going to see a self-working any card at any number. That's correct. It's a Craig Petty video with an any card at any number. Who would have guessed that? There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to be seeing on this video. I'm going to do a performance to Jack and then explain how it's done. So without further ado, this is the Magic TV Bank Holiday 5x5 tutorial special on self-working card tricks. Let's do this. Jack.
Hello.
Deck of cards.
Yep.
We're going to give them a shuffle. In fact, if I shuffle them, people would think I'm cheating, which, let's be honest, is probably right. So you give them a shuffle for me, if you can. And when you finish shuffling them, let me know and just put them on the table in front of me. And I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction of something that I think is going to happen in the not too distant future. Give them a shuffle again. I'm not feeling that. There you go. We good? I don't know if I was feeling it. See, no, give it a shuffle again. I'm not feeling it. I'm really not feeling it, Jack. You need to give it a more thorough shuffle. I know what people are going to be thinking at home. They're going to be thinking, well, Craig somehow paid Jack to shuffle, and using his incredible sleight of hand ability, he gave a full shuffle.
You really think he pays me?
I don't? Did I not? I didn't know this. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to take out that. I'm going to take out that one, I think. The better one. No, I'm going to take out that one. Okay, that's my prediction. Okay?
That one card.
That one card is my prediction. Now, I'm not going to touch the cards. So you take the cards and turn them face up. And what I want you to do is start dealing them face up into a face up pile on the table. And just keep dealing the cards. And you can obviously deal and deal and deal. And keep dealing. But it's important that at any point you want to, you stop. But only when you feel like you want to. Until then, keep dealing. There, you sure?
Yep.
Okay, we'll put those there. Turn the cards face down. And what I want you to do is cut about half the cards here. It's up to you where you cut, but about half. And we'll put those that way. And then I want you to mark the cuts. So take those and put them at an angle on top of that deck. Perfect. So let's just recap for a second. You shuffled the cards.
Yep.
And then I got you to shuffle them again.
Several times.
And again, and again. And then I took this prediction out, and this prediction's been here the whole time. And you also dealt through these cards, and you stopped any time you want to. Do you have any idea how many cards there are there? Do you know how many you dealt?
About 30?
But you don't know exactly. I mean, you didn't count them as you were dealing, did you?
No.
And then you cut to a card, didn't you? Right here. You cut to this card.
Yep.
Now, you could have cut to any card. You cut to the 7 of hearts. Here's what's interesting. You dealt those cards onto the table.
Yep.
And you stopped any way you wanted to. Take the cards. Hold them as if you're dealing a game of you're about to deal. And you cut to a 7.
Yep.
So what I want you to do, we're going to spell 7, which is S-E-V-E-N. And for each letter, you're going to deal 1 card onto the table. So let's do that. S-E-V-E-N. So you just spelled 7. If you'd have cut to a different card, it would have been a different thing, right?
Yep.
And you dealt X amount of cards there. Nobody told you where to stop. Turn over the next card. Oh, that's a 7 as well, which is crazy as you cut to a 7.
What?
Not only that, I put a prediction over here from the very beginning which is a 7. Of course, if there were 4 7s, that would be a lot better. I tell you what, you two do magic yourself. Take your fingers, snap them, turn over the top card. That
what the hell
would be the final 7. Jack, you're amazing.
Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. Well done, Jack. You're a magician. You're a wizard. Okay, so this trick is as old as the hills. I think I first learned this about 25 years ago. I mean, this is so old, but it's a great way of doing a 4 of a kind production from a shuffled deck. So you have the deck shuffled, and here's what you're going to do. You're going to have the deck shuffled. The only negative with this is, although you're producing a 4 of a kind from a shuffled deck, you have no idea what 4 of a kind you're producing, because it depends on what the bottom card is of the deck when they hand you the deck back. Because what you're going to do is, as soon as they give you the deck back, you say, I'm going to take out a prediction. You look at what the bottom card is, and in this case, it's a 10. So you think about how to spell 10, T-E-N. If you can't spell, this might not be the best trick for you, to be honest. But you do it towards you. And what I do is I take off the card on the face, and then I take out however many cards that I need to spell that card. So in this case, I see a 10, so I'm thinking to myself, T-E-N. And then I just take I move that 10 to the top of those 3 cards, and I just put it down on the table. It's meant to look like I'm just taking cards and I'm looking for a prediction. Now I spread through for the next 10. And when I see the next 10, I take it and put it on the face of this packet, and I turn everything over and put it there. So in essence, we've got 2 10s next to each other there. Then I spread through for the next 10. When I see the next 10, that one goes down as my prediction. And then I continue spreading as if I'm making sure that the prediction's correct. I find the last 10, I make sure it's on the top of this packet here. I put these here, and I put these on top. So now, from a shuffled deck of cards, I've got a 10 there, I've got a 10 there, and I've got 2 10s here. Now that only takes a couple of seconds. In real time, let me show you how quick it is. So, the cards are shuffled by the spectator, and you say, look, I'm going to make a prediction, something that I think is going to happen in the not too distant future. I think that would be the one. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. And in that case, I did it with 5. So there's a 5 here, there's a 5 here, an F-I-V-E, and 2 5s there. So it's very, very quick. When you've done that, when you've put that prediction down there, all you're going to do is you're going to have the spectator turn the deck face up, and you don't touch the cards, and you say deal the cards face up into a face up pile on the table, and just carry on dealing. Now they'll see 2 5s go past. They're not going to think anything because they don't know what the trick's meant to be. So they're just going to, and as soon as you see the 2 5s go fast, you say, by the way, stop dealing whenever you want to. So let's say they stop dealing there. You say, great, and you turn those cards over and you put them over there. And then you say, turn the rest of the pack over, and now you're going to get them to cross-cut force themselves. So you just say, cut about half the cards and put them on the table, so they do. And you say, take the rest of them and put them at an angle on top to mark the cut. So they've cross-cut forced themselves. So now, you need some time misdirection for a few seconds. So you recap, you say, think about this. I put my prediction down from the very beginning, from a deck that you shuffled. You then dealt a bunch of cards here. You know, I don't know how many there are. I'm sure you don't either, unless you were counting. And you cut to a card randomly here. Now, that time misdirection is going to help them forget that they actually dealt the cards face up, and it's going to help them forget that this is not actually where they cut to. So now, you turn this card over and you say, okay, you cut to a 5. Pick up that packet, and you know, you decided to stop right there, but pick up that packet and spell 5. So they go F-I-V-E, and you go turn over the top card. And they do, and it's a 5, which is really, really strong. And you say, of course, I put a prediction down at the very beginning. Turn the prediction over, and it's a 5. And you say, of course, we need one last 5. I tell you what, you do the magic. Snap your fingers yourself, turn over the top card, and you get a 5 there as well. And you've produced the 4 5s from a shuffled deck. Now, there's one thing that you need to be aware of if you're going to do this trick. The one thing that you're going to be aware of, let's say that we're doing the 5s again, is this. So they've shuffled the deck, and this happened in performance with Jack, mainly because Jack's awkward without even trying. He is. So what happened with Jack twice is when I took the deck back, I saw 5, so I was counting F-I-V-E, and there was a 5 in amongst those cards, so that wouldn't work. So there's a couple of different options. I can move that into the correct position if I want to, but I don't want to do any movement. So I said, you know what, Jack, I'm not feeling it. Shuffle the cards again. And I got them to shuffle it again. Statistically, when you get them to shuffle the cards again, that's not going to happen again. So I spread through, and lo and behold, Jack had done it again. So I had to go, no, I'm still not feeling it, Jack. Shuffle the cards. So, which becomes a bit of a running gag. And that's the first time that's ever happened twice in a row. And then now, this is a perfect situation. So I've got a 3 here, T-H-R-E-E. I really want that there. But with 1, it's fine. I can just move the positions of those as I do that. And then this one can just go on top here, so it's totally not an issue. But there you go. It's a self-working way to produce a 4 of a kind. If you want to do a trick with a 4 of a kind, this is a great way to do it. So before I start, do you want to give these cards a mix-up, give them a shuffle, make sure they're in no particular order?
I need to learn go shuffle.
You're doing great, Jack. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So there's a plot in Magic that you might not have heard of before. It's a very unknown plot. It's called any card at any number. And the idea is somebody names a card, somebody names a number. Now, the problem is, psychologically, if I had you name a card, there's certain cards that people gravitate to. Ace of Spades, Queen of Hearts is very popular. Likewise, there's certain numbers that people think of. 37, for some reason, is a number that a lot of people think of if you ask them to think of a 2-digit number. So we're going to randomize it. First of all, I've taken 2 piles. Give that pile a shuffle if you can, please. And then put it down. I know you've shuffled the cards before, but I don't want people to think I've cheated. I mean, I'm going to cheat. I just don't want people to think I have. And do the same with that one as well. Now, one of these piles is going to represent the number. So in other words, one of these piles is going to be used to generate a random number. One of these piles is going to be used to generate a random card. Which one do you want to be the card pile? Which one do you want to be the number pile?
Card number.
Okay, so that's the number pile there, correct?
Yep.
So we'll start with the number. I'm going to kind of look away. What I want you to do is cut some cards. It's up to you however many you cut. And you're not going to count those cards. You're going to put them away in your pocket or you're going to sit on them.
Okay.
The amount of cards you cut off is going to be your chosen number. It's really important no one knows that number, especially you. So you're going to cut some cards, don't count them, put them away where I can't see them. I'll look away really quickly and tell me when you're done.
Yep.
Are you done?
Yep.
Very good. Now this pile is going to be the pile that we use for the actual selection of the card.
Yep.
So take these cards, spread them so you can see the faces and I can't, and take any card out and that will be the card. And pass me the rest back. There we go. And you can show the card to the camera if you want to. So that's going to be your card. So that's a really fair way of picking a card. Pop it back on top of the deck and we will lose it into the pack by giving the cards a couple of cuts, and we'll give them a shuffle. That wasn't your card, was it?
No.
Okay, that would be there we go. We'll put that away in there. Excellent. So somewhere in there is your card. I have no idea. We'll just bury it down in the middle. Now there is one other shuffle that I'm going to do. When you shuffle like this or like this, you can cheat. There are ways of faking those shuffles. So when you go to Las Vegas, have you ever been to Las Vegas?
No.
Certain casinos, kind of more of the dodgy ones, there's a particular shuffle that the croupiers do to prove that there's no way they could have tampered with the deck or anything like that. And it's called, well, it's this sort of shuffle. Basically what they do is they take the deck and they strip the top and the bottom cards off the deck all the way through the deck. And they do this before they start a game. And there's no way to fake this shuffle. By doing this shuffle, it means that the cards really are completely and totally mixed. Every single card is going into a different position than when it started, right? There's no way now anybody could know the position of anything. Would you agree?
Yep.
So you're thinking of a card, which is somewhere in here, I don't know where, and you have a number that you've generated, but you don't know what that number is, do you? Take those cards out and do me a favour, we'll put this here for a minute. Count the cards onto the table. Don't leave any in there. Make sure there's none left in there. And count the cards so you know what number it is that you selected.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14.
Okay, so that's 14. And these cards, and we didn't know that before you counted those. I was looking away. You didn't even know the number. I'm not going to touch the cards. I want you to deal 13 cards face up onto the table. Go for it.
1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. Stop. Do you see your card there?
No.
No. And there were 14 cards here, and that is the 14th card. I haven't touched that pack. You could have thought of any number. Nobody knew the number at all. That's the 14th card. What was the name of your card?
Eight of clubs.
Have a look.
Hey.
Wow, how crazy is that? Okay, so let's talk about the any card at any number. For this, you need a deck of 52 cards. It's very important that there's 52 cards in the deck. No jokers. Take the jokers out. Other than that, it's a shuffled deck routine. So you're going to have the cards shuffled, mixed up by the spectator. And then you're going to make 2 piles of cards. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this. You have to make sure there's 26 cards in each pile for this trick to work. So the first way to do this is what I did in Performance to Jack, which is I just counted 26 cards. Now, I don't want to sit there going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could do. You could say, I need exactly half for this. So I'm going to deal 26 cards here. But the easiest way to do it is to push off in groups of 3 and then in groups of 2, which is a classic technique that has been used by cardicians for years. So you just push off 3 and then push off 2. That makes 5. Another 3, another 2. That's 10. 3, 2, 15. 3, 2, 20. 3, 2, 25, 26. So it looks like this. Jack would have shuffled the cards and I say, now think about this, buddy. You mix these cards. Now I'm going to create 2 piles of cards here. I think I'm going to use these and these. And it doesn't look like you've done anything. It just looks like you're spreading some cards over. Now, if you don't want to do that, the other way of doing it is to give the deck the spectator and say, look, I want you to deal the cards all the way through the deck. And I want you to deal them into 2 piles. Because I want to make sure that there's I want to make sure that we've got 2 even piles, or as even as possible. So now that you've shuffled the cards, if you could deal them into 2 piles, that would be amazing. And when you've dealt them into the 2 piles, we'll continue. If you're going to use this method, it takes a little bit longer. So make sure that you carry on talking and make it interesting rather than just being silent while they deal through. There's a couple of different ways there. You can obviously, because all that's important is that there's 26 cards in each pile. It makes no difference the order of the cards. So you can get them to shuffle each individual packet at this point. Now, when you've done that, you introduce the concept of any card at any number, and you're going to have somebody. You're going to say to them, one of these packs are going to be used to create a random number. One of these packs are going to be used to create a random card, which is the number pack. And whatever they say the number pack is, and it makes no difference because they're both the same, 26. Let's say this is the number pack. You say, cut some cards off. Don't look at them. Put them away in the pocket or in the card box or something. That will be your total number. And you're not even going to know it. So it's very fair. They cut some cards. They put them in the box or they put them away. And you say, that's going to be your number. We'll count those cards a little bit later on. You don't need to know what that number is. They don't need to know what that number is. You then have them take the rest of the cards and shuffle them. And you say, this packet, you're going to go through and take a card, and that's going to be your card. So they're spread through. Let's say they go for the Ace of Hearts. Okay? So once they've done that, what you're going to do now is you need to have this card at the bottom of the pack. Now, you could, if you wanted to, very, very easily, just openly put it to the bottom and then bury it down there. There's no problem there. If you want to make it completely self-working, you can do that. What I did is I had it on top of the deck and I double undercut the card to the bottom. So I just did a double undercut and I double undercutted the card to the bottom, and then I did a milk shuffle. So I just gave an overhand shuffle. Apparently I'm mixing it into the pack, but I'm keeping that ace at the bottom just by squeezing my fingers and my thumb together. That ace will always stay at the bottom of the pack. So it's up to you. You could just openly put it at the bottom, or if you want to add a tiny little move in there, you can do that tiny little move and make it look like it's shuffled into the pack. And if you want to get fancy with it, I know this is a self-working trick, but hell, if you want to get fancy, put the card in the middle and do a convincing control and have it like apparently lost into the pack, but really it's going to the bottom. Whatever you want to do. We're getting distracted now, which I tend to do a lot. The cards go back here like this. Boom. And if you want to throw in a little bit of a false cut at this point, you can. Completely up to you. So now you introduce this kind of weird shuffle where you're stripping cards off the top and the bottom. And it's kind of a weird thing to do. So what I do is I say that this is a shuffle that they use in Las Vegas in certain casinos. And it's done because there is absolutely no way of keeping track of where anything is. And there's absolutely no way of keeping track the order of the cards, because as you do this shuffle, every single card in the pack is going to change the position of where it was to a completely different position, which is true. Every card in the pack does change its position. However, this shuffle is very important because this is the key to the trick. You end up with putting the last two on there. If you've got one, you just drop it on top. Because that shuffle, believe it or not, positions their card in the number that they cut off at the very beginning. It's cool. It's crazy. This is another one where you're going to try it and you're going to laugh at the whole situation and kind of not fully understand how it works. But trust me, watch. You have them take the cards out of the box and you get them to count them. So let's see what the number is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 14. So you say, I didn't know your number ahead of time. I don't want to even touch the cards. Deal 13 cards face up on the table. So now they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And when they turn over the 14th card, that'll be the Ace of Hearts, the card that they picked. And it works every single time. That shuffle, as long as that card is at the bottom of the 26 card stack and you put it on top of the other stack, that shuffle will always put the card in the position it needs to be in to do a successful any card of any number. So there you go. If you are obsessed with ACAM like I am and you want to do a self-working version of it, this is a great way to go. I'm going to show you something truly crazy. I'm going to have you pick a card in a very, very, very kind of different way, okay? Let me get the box. I need a box for this. Just take the, there we go. I need a box for this. I forgot to get the box for you. Right, so you're going to need the card box. There's nothing in there, is there?
Nope.
No? What I want you to do is, we're going to take some cards here. So, there we go. Take a whole bunch of cards. Now, in a second, what you're going to do is we're going to use these cards to have you pick a card in a really fair way. A really, 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 really fair way, okay?
Okay.
What I'm going to have you do is in a second, I'm going to look away. And when I do, I want you to take the cards underneath the table so I can't see. And I want you to think of a number between 1 and 10. Okay, I've got about 20 cards here, so there's definitely going to be enough cards. Okay,
yep.
Whatever number you're thinking of, you're going to take that many cards off the top and put them in the box, but without looking at the face of them. So if you thought of 3, you'd take 1, 2, 3 cards off, put them in the box, close the box up, but don't look at the faces of the cards. Can you do that for me?
Yep.
And I'll look away. I mean, because I'm looking away, you don't have to put them under the table if you don't want to. If it makes it easier to do them on top of the table, that's fine. But the point is, you're going to take out some cards without looking at them, and you're going to put them away in the box. And hopefully, if everybody's watching at home, they'll know the number that you're thinking of because they'll have seen you take the cards out. Are we done?
Yep.
Cool. And we're going to close that box so I can't see how many cards are in there. Brilliant. Now, obviously, I have no idea what your number is, but I know it's somewhere between 1 and 10. It has to be, right?
Yep.
So, because I took like 20 cards out here, there's definitely going to be 10 cards. So I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lovely. We'll put the rest of the cards here. So, you're thinking of a number.
Yep.
You're committed to that number because you put that many cards inside the box. Whatever the number is that you're thinking of, I'm going to look away and I want you to look at that card, remember it. So for example, so this is card number 1, card number 2, card number 3, card number 4, card number 5, card number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you're thinking of 2, for example, you'd go 1, 2, you'd look at that card, remember it, put it back in, and then just square everything up and keep it face down.
Okay.
Okay, and again, and you can show the camera when you've taken the card out if you want to. It's absolutely fine, but I don't want to see. So I'm going to look away.
Okay.
You got it?
Yep, I'm just grabbing.
Perfect. So we have a situation where you're thinking of a card and I couldn't possibly know the card. All of that was to get you to think of a card in a way I couldn't possibly know what the card is. Because A, I'd have no idea what your number is. Think about it, when you were looking through these cards, if you thought of a different number, you would have ended up on a different card.
Yep.
There's no way I could know that card. And the cards were shuffled anyway, right at the very beginning, so it's all completely fair. But concentrate on that card. There's no way I can know. I was looking away. Concentrate on the colour. It's a red card, isn't it?
It is a red card.
Concentrate on the suit. Is it a diamond?
It is a diamond.
Concentrate on the value. It's quite a high card, isn't it? But it's not a picture card, it's a high number card.
Is height.
It's not a 10. Are you thinking of the 8 of diamonds?
I am.
Now that's pretty good, right? But here's the interesting thing. You could have thought of any one of these cards. You thought of this, the 8 of diamonds. What about if I told you you never had a choice? What about if I told you you only could have ever thought of the 8 of diamonds?
Or the all 8s.
Well, no, because like they're not all 8s, but the thing is, you picked the number. You did everything.
Yep.
Here's the interesting thing. This card here is blank. This card's 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 blank. This one. This one. In fact, the cards that we put over here on the box, all of these cards are completely blank. If we could look at the cards that you put away in the box, every single one of these is blank. You look at the cards that were left over here, every single card is blank. You could examine them. The only card that you could possibly have picked was the 8 of diamonds.
Wow.
There you go. Okay, so this is the explanation for the kind of blizzard whitewash type effect. Very, very simple. You're going to need a blank deck of cards. So these cards are completely blank on the face, just a normal blank face deck of cards. And you need one card, one printed card. So I use the 8 of diamonds. That card is going to go in the 11th position, okay? So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 10 blank cards, the printed card, and the rest of the blank cards. That's it. So when you want to do this routine, you bring the deck out, and you're going to start off by telling the spectator that you're going to show them something amazing. Now, you can spread the cards face down, obviously, if you want to. Originally, how I used to do this is I had a joker on the face, and I had a joker in the middle of the deck, so I could turn the deck face up, and I'd say, hang on, let me just take out the jokers, and I'd take out the 2 jokers, show them and put them away. You don't need to do that, but if you want to as an extra subtlety, you can. But either way, so you've got the deck of cards, and you're going to count 21 cards down onto the table. Now, you can get the spectator to do this, or you can do this, but you're going to count 21 cards face down onto the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now, the rest of the cards get put to one side, and I have the spectator make sure there's nothing inside the box, which I give to them. Now, because you've taken 21 cards, you're going to have 10 blank cards on either side of the printed card. Now, if you want to give these cards a shuffle, you can. You can use like a Lorry Island type shuffle, which will keep that card in the 10th position. All you're going to do is just shuffle off single cards until you've got past the halfway point, and then just shuffle off. And you can do that a couple of times, and it gives the illusion of the cards being shuffled, but in reality, it's actually keeping that card in the exact same position because there's 10 on each side. If you want to shuffle them, you can. Don't want to, that's fine. What you're going to do then is you're going to look away, and you're going to say to the spectator, think of a number from 1 to 10. Whatever number you're thinking of, take that many cards without looking at them and put them inside the box. So if you were thinking of 3, you take 3 cards and you put 3 cards in the box. Important to say without looking at them. You say, I don't want you to be influenced by seeing any cards in particular. So without looking at them, take whatever number you're thinking of, take that many cards and put them away in the box. That commits you to that number. That's the reason that you're doing this, because by putting those cards in the box, it locks that decision in. That's the number that they're going to go for. So let's say they think of 6. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're looking away. They take 6 cards. They put them inside the box. Job done. You then turn back round and you say, okay, brilliant. So I know that the number is less than 10, so I'm going to deal 10 cards out onto the table. And you're going to deal 10 cards out from right to left in an overlapping row. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I put the rest of the cards on top of the card box. Now, this is the principle that's at play here. Basically, whatever number they think of is now set to be that position from the left of the row of cards. So we thought of 6, we put 6 cards in the box. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's going to be the one printed card, which is really clever. There's no work to it. It's very, very simple. So what you do now is you say, look, I'm going to look away. I don't know what your number is, but this is card number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I count from left to right so they know which side to count from. I say, when I look away, just go to your numbered card, whatever number you're thinking of, go to that card, take it out, show everybody. put it back and square up the cards. So you look away, they're going to count to their number, and they're going to look at the card, and they're going to put it back and square up. And it's nice to say at this point, if you thought of a different number, you would have ended up on a different card, which sounds logical. Total rubbish, but it sounds logical. You then, at that point, everything's done. You're finished. So at that point, you then say, well, I'm going to try and read your mind and tell you what the card is, and you tell them it's the 8 of diamonds, which gets a great reaction. Sometimes as magicians, we overlook something as simple as the revelation of a playing card, but really build that moment up. It's very strong. So you say the 8 of diamonds, and they say yes, and you say, of course, the thing is, you had no choice but to pick the 8 of diamonds. And I spread the cards towards myself, and I just up-jogged the 8 of diamonds and put it down on the table, and put the rest there. I say you had no choice but to pick the 8 of diamonds. You're probably wondering why. Well, if you picked this card, it would have been blank. This card would have been blank. This card would have been blank. Every single one of these cards would have been blank. In fact, these cards that you put over here, this one would have been blank. This one would have been blank. So would this one, this one, this one. The cards that you put in the box at the very beginning, they would have been blank. In fact, every single card in this deck would have been blank except for the one card that you picked and the number that you thought of, the 8 of diamonds. And it's a really strong routine. Everything can be examined at the end of the trick, and then to reset it, ready for the next performance, once they've examined it and they're blue in the face, you just push off 10 cards, put that card back there, and you reset, ready to go again. And if you want a different card, because you're going to a different table and you want to do a different revelation, just take a different card out your pocket and replace it with a different card, like the King of Clubs instead of the 8 of diamonds. But there you go, completely self-working, very easy to do. Enjoy. So I've got this deck of cards. Do you want to give them a shuffle before we start?
Why not?
And then when you shuffle them and put them into an order, I want you to deal 11 cards onto the table.
First turn?
Yeah, go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Perfect. Now look through the cards, the other cards, spread them so you can see them, and take any card out that you want. That's going to be your selected card. When you've got it, I'm going to put the rest of the deck away so you can give me the rest of the deck. And you can show that card to the camera, make sure that they can see it.
Yep.
And there. So give these one more shuffle. So the 11 cards that you picked, we're just going to put them into a random order. Okay.
Yep.
And you're going to put your card back. So just pop it back in, your card. And it's very important you remember it, okay?
Yep.
Very good. So we have somewhere in here your card. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip some of these cards over. Okay. We're going to flip a few of them over. And just like that. So we've got some face up, some face down. I don't know whether your card is face up or face down, but we're going to make this a total mess. How we're going to do it is I'm going to give you the cards. When I do, I'm going to snap my fingers. Every time I snap my fingers, you're going to cut the cards any way you want to, then take the top 2 cards and flip them over. You're going to cut any way you want to when I snap my fingers, and then you're going to flip the top 2 cards over. You're going to keep doing that. So snap the fingers, cut any way you want to, and take the top 2 cards and just flip them over. There you go, perfect. Let's do it again. There you go, and take the top 2 cards and turn them over. Of course, every time you're doing this, it's messing up the orientation of the cards. Now turn the whole pack over, as in turn it over. There you go, cut again. Give them a cut. Perfect. That's great, and turn the top 2 cards over. That's good. You can do that as many times as you want to. You can keep flipping the deck face up and face down. Every time you cut, turn the top 2 cards over, and keep going as long as you want to, and anytime you want to stop, just stop. You're doing a great job. There you go, cut, turn top 2 cards over. You're doing awesome. Stop anytime you want to.
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay, what I want you to do is deal the cards. In fact, I'll do it for you because the camera's over there. I'm going to deal the cards into 4 piles like this. Now, I don't know what your card is. And more importantly, I don't know if it's face up or it's face down. Depending on how many times you cut the pack, depending on how many times you turn cards over, your card could be face up or face down, right? I'm going to put the cards back together like so. And all I want you to do is snap your fingers. And do you know what happens when you do that?
They sort themselves?
Every single card sorts itself out except for one card right there in the middle of the deck. The 7 of diamonds. Was that your card?
That was my card.
That was the card. Okay, so this is the explanation to the self-working triumph. And I'm going to give you a slight variation at the end as well. So bear with me. This is a shuffled deck of cards in use. So have them shuffle the cards. Unlike a lot of self-working tricks, there's no setup here. And you're going to take 12 cards out of the deck. So you're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. Sorry, you take 11 cards out of the deck. and they deal those cards themselves. And then you tell them to go through the rest of the deck and take any card out they want. Let's say they take the Jack of Spades. So at that point, they've taken this card. You've got all of these. You have them shuffle these again. And you say, if you want to, you can shuffle these again. And you're going to return this card. And you're going to return it. It needs to go into the second position from the top. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, the easiest way to do that is to just spread out the cards like this. Have them return their card. Drop one card on top. Put these on top holding a break. And then just cut to the break. So that card is second from top. You can have it, look, you could do a little mini tilt break if you wanted to and you know, like tilt it in there and have it go second from top. But the easiest way to do it is to literally just spread through, have them put the card back, put this on top. You could even count how many cards there are there, and there's 5. So you could then come here and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops, I've done taken 6 there. So to fix that, I'd have to do that. There we go. But it doesn't really matter. As long as you get it to the second from top position, you're cool. That's the only move in this whole thing. Now it's completely self-working. All you're going to do is you're going to turn over the 4th card and then every other card thereafter. So it's going to be card at position number 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So you say, I'm going to turn over some cards, and I have no idea whether the card I turn over is your card or not. Don't tell me. You spread through, you turn over the 4th card, the 6th card, the 8th card, the 10th card, and the 12th card. And you can spread them out and you say, look, some cards face up, some cards face down. It doesn't, you know, you're not trying to hide the fact that you didn't turn over this card. It makes no difference. But you're just turning, you're just doing this. You're showing that some cards are turned over. Now, all you're going to do, as you saw in the performance, is you're going to get them to cut the pack and flip over the top 2 cards. And you're going to say, look, cut the pack as many times as you want to and just turn over the top 2 cards. Then turn over the whole deck. Cut the deck, turn over the top 2 cards. Keep doing that as many times as you want to. Just keep cutting, turning over, cutting, turning over. Do it as many times as you want to. It's up to you. So they keep doing this over and over again until they're happy. And when they're happy and they're finished, you're then going to say, right, okay, I want you to deal 4-handed game of poker. So now you say, turn the cards over whichever way you want to, and deal a 4-handed game of poker. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you say, look, some of the cards are face up, some of the cards are face down. I don't know whether your cards face up or face down. That's not important. Now, all you're going to do is flip all of these cards. You're going to work from right to left. So you dealt the cards out. You got the spectator to deliver the cards out left from right. You're going to work right to left, and you take this packet, flop it onto this packet, take this packet, flop it onto this packet, take this packet, flop it onto this packet, and it'll either be face up or face down, and it'll either end up like that or like that. If it ends up like that, just turn it over. If it ends up like that, don't touch it. And believe it or not, it's done. It's crazy how it works, but it works every single time. And when you try this, you're going to be so confused. Just put it in the second from top position, turn over the 4th, turn over the 6th, turn over the 8th, turn over the 10th and the 12th. Just try it. Try and mess it up. Cut it. You know, like I say, every time you cut, you just turn 2 cards over, turn the entire deck over. Just try and mess yourself up as many times as you want to. It makes no difference because it's always going to work. You just deal from left to right into 4 piles, just like that. And then turn, turn, turn. And it'll work every single time. Every single time. Now, the other thing that you can do, just so you know, if you want to make it a full deck triumph, and this is a Dave Forrest idea, is when you've got the 11 cards on the table, and they've picked their card, have them shuffle this packet, and while they do, take the rest of the deck face up and turn it face down, but do a brow reversal. So you get a break underneath the top card, undercut half the cards, drop them on top, undercut the rest, put them on top. So in essence, you've turned the cards face down, but left a face-up card there. So now you do that whole sequence, so you end up with a bunch of, you end up in this situation. They think the cards are mixed face-up into face-down, but you're there. And you say, look, I'm going to shuffle these cards as well. Now you're going to apparently shuffle these cards face-up and face-down, and you can do a Tenkai optical reverse. So you're just going to take this packet, turn it face-up, and this packet and turn it face down. Basically, you're just doing this. It's not doing anything. You're doing that. But because you're doing it in two hands and there's a reversed card there, it looks like you've turned half the cards over, but you haven't. So when you shuffle them together, it looks like they're being mixed face up into face down, but in reality, all the cards are facing the right way, right? So what I do is I say, look, before we've mixed this packet up, I'm just going to give these cards a mix up as well. I'll take half the cards face up, half the cards face down, and just shuffle them face up into face down like that. So you can see that, so this is what I do. I say some of the cards are face up, some of the cards are face down, and I openly turn that card face up. Now, I just turn everything over and smush this packet into the middle of this packet and just put it down. So now when they spread out, every card sorted themselves out except for the card that they picked. So there you go. Very, very easy to do, pretty much self-working, and it's a really cool way of doing triumph. Got a pack of cards. Do you want to shuffle them before I begin? What? Actually, before you shuffle them, I'm going to take out the Ace of Spades. The reason I'm taking out the Ace of Spades, you might not realise this, but the Ace of Spades is the single most powerful card in the pack. The the Ace of Spades is known as the Magician's card, also known as the card of death. Why magicians are associated with death, I don't know, but it keeps me awake at night thinking about it.
Yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, believe it or not, obviously I can use sleight of hand and misdirection and stuff like that to find a person's playing card. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the Ace of Spades can find someone's card. So from the pack that you've shuffled, we've created two packets here. What I want you to do is take the rest that's left, spread through them so you can look at the faces, and take any card out. We'll put the rest in the box. That's going to be your card. So you can show it to the camera. Do not show it to me. And then put it face down in front of you. Right. We'll put that Ace of Spades over there. So this is all about choices that you're going to make. First of all, do you want to give this packet a shuffle just so you know I haven't done anything with it? Very good. And then pop it back there. And if you want to give this packet a shuffle as well, you can do. Make sure that everything is completely mixed up. Are we done?
Yep.
Good stuff. Now, the next choice that you make is I want you to cut some cards off that packet over to here. So we've got two packets of cards. Excellent stuff. And do the same with this packet. Excellent. Do you want to put some more onto there? Or if you can, you don't have to. Or do you want to put some more in there or put some back? Are you happy? You can keep going back and forth. Are you good?
I'll do.
Okay, cool. So you've created 4 packets. We're going to bury that card into the middle somewhere. You're going to put it onto packet 1, 2, 3, 4. It's up to you. Just make sure you remember the card. Which packet do you want to put it on? Okay, so there you go. And take one of these packets. It's up to you which one, and drop it on top. So because you cut and you decided everything, there's no way I could know where that card is. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Now we're going to put the Ace of Spades here, and you can put that packet on top and bury it in there. Now we've got one last option, one last choice that you have to make here. And the final choice is, oh, there you go, stay. Do you want this packet on here or this packet on here?
That packet on there.
Good then. Would you agree that I couldn't possibly know anything about your card, where it is or anything?
I don't see how.
Because you cut everything, you did everything, right? Now the Ace of Spades, believe it or not, can tell me what your card is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deal the cards into 2 piles.
Okay.
Which means that the Ace of Spades will end up in 1 pile. Whatever the pile the Ace of Spades ends up in, we're going to keep that pile and get rid of the other pile. I'm going to keep going until we've only got 1 card left. So your job is to watch out for that Ace of Spades, and more importantly, watch out for which pile it ends up in. I'm going to deal through all of the cards, and we'll go through to the very end. There it is. So, obviously we all saw it, but it went into that packet, right?
Yep.
So this packet we get rid of, it's gone. Now we're going to do it again. Now, obviously, keep an eye on the Ace of Spades. Obviously, what's happening here would be completely different if you'd cut less cards, or if you decided to put the card in 1 pile instead of the other pile. The decisions that you've made have randomized this whole process completely. We'll do it again. Well, that's obvious, right? We'll do it here. Boom, 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 boom. That'd be that one. We're left with 1 card and 1 card only. The Ace of Spades has landed in on 1 card. What was the name of your card?
Jack of Clubs.
What you mean? That one. No, how great is that? Okay, so this is the routine where the Ace of Spades finds the spectator's selected card, and this is a very cool trick. So again, just like with every other routine that I've presented to you today, it's a shuffle deck. So you have the cards mixed up and shuffled, and then you say to them that I'm going to take out the Ace of Spades. So you say that the Ace of Spades is the most magical card in the pack, and you take that out. And you say, we're going to use not the whole deck, we're just going to use a few cards. And you're going to take out 2 piles of 15 cards. Now, there have to be exactly 15 cards in each pile. And like I said with the A-can routine, where you're having to make 2 piles of 26, I typically spread out. So when I do it, I just spread a 3 and a 2 and a 3 and a 2 and a 3 and a 2. That gets to 115. And I'm doing this as I'm talking, and I say, you know, we're going to use some cards here. That's going to be perfect. Now, you can do that, or you can have them count. You can say, look, we're going to deal some cards onto the table. It's totally up to you, but I think it's a little bit cleaner if you spread the cards out. The rest of the deck's handed to the spectator, and you tell them to go through and take any card out that they like the look of. So let's say they go for the 9 of hearts. Okay. And the rest of the cards are put to one side. You don't need them. Now, what's nice about this is the fact that the spectator has so many choices. Now, the important thing is the 2 piles of 15 have to be in this orientation. So one is here and the other one is behind it. And you have them cut each pile into 2, and they can cut anywhere they want to. It makes no difference. So now you've got 4 piles. And you say to the spectator, put your selected card on any one of the 4 piles. So it makes no difference, but where they put it dictates what you do next. Think of this here as row number 1. Think of this here as row number 2. If they put their card anywhere in row number 1, you're going to give them the choice of either one of the piles in row number 2 to bury it in. If they put the card in row number 2, they get the choice of any pile from row number 1 to bury that in. So let's say, Michael, would you put it in 1, 2, 3, 4? Which one?
3.
3. So it goes here in row number 2. So I would then say to Michael immediately, and we're going to bury it in, would you like me to use packet number 1 or packet number 2?
1.
1. So it gets buried in like that, right? Now, you're going to, once you've done that, you're going to end up with a row with 2 piles and a row with 1 pile. The row with 1 pile, you put the Ace of Spades face up on it, and you take the other incomplete packet and you bury that in. Now, you then say to them, would you like this packet on top of here or this packet on top of here? It makes no difference. Let's say they do that. Now, believe it or not, that has put us into a situation where even though they could have cut however many cards they wanted to cut, and even though they could choose where to put their card, that has set us up now so that if we do this dealing procedure 4 times, it will always end up with the selected card being next to the Ace of Spades. Watch. So you have them deal it into 2 piles, or you can deal it into 2 piles. The only important thing is that you alternate back and forth. And you tell them to watch for the Ace of Spades, and you say wherever the Ace of Spades lands, we're going to keep that pile and we're going to get rid of the other pile. So you do the first deal, and they go, well, the Ace of Spades was there, and you say, okay, these are all eliminated, and you just put them away. And now you pick it up again. You can do it 4 times in total. So the second time you do exactly the same thing, and you're watching for the Ace of Spades, which is there, so we eliminate this pile. You do it the 3rd time, you watch for the Ace of Spades, which is that pile, so this one gets eliminated. And you do it 1 final time, and this one gets eliminated. And even though they could have cut anywhere they wanted to, and they could have cut however many cards they wanted to, and they could put their card back anywhere they wanted, and you genuinely buried it in, even though all of that is true, it's always going to be next to the card that they picked. And this is another one of those that you're going to do a few times. You're going to go, why? And my advice to you is don't worry about why. Just understand that it works and be thankful to the magic gods.
So there you go, guys. That's another video in the bag. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Have you performed any of those routines before? If you have, let me know how they went. Are you planning on performing them? Let me know which ones. And would you like to see another 5x5 tutorial special on other self-working card tricks? Let me know down below. And Nemid, if you're watching this, are you going to change your mind and actually start doing self-working tricks in your repertoire? Or are you still too big a snob? I'd like to know in the comments down below. Right down there, Nemid. Leave a comment. If you're having a great bank holiday here in the UK, please let me know. And yeah, it's probably raining, but I'm sure everyone's having a great time. We'll be back again tomorrow with another mat test, but thank you so much for watching. Oh, remember, join the Netrix, www.thenetrix.com. Go and join it. I'm not going to say anything else. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.